welcome back. First, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for all the lovely comments and the follow-up questions that you left on my first video. I really appreciate that. And next, let's just do a quick recap of what's in that video for those of you who haven't watched the first one yet. And if you haven't, go back and check it out. It's really great. But in short, we looked at three main ideas about how you can create coaching products that actually get used by your clients. So they're engaging and they get used. I covered three main ideas. And the first one is to design your coaching products for your ideal client. And your ideal client is that type of client that you meet with and you have a one-on-one session and you're just like, oh my gosh, this isn't even work. This is so much fun. You want to attract more of those people into your business. And a great way to do that is to design a coaching product and do it as if you're just writing it specifically for that one person. I've been doing that for a long time in my business and it's just awesome. And I just keep attracting more and more of my ideal clients. So that is a very secret tip. Design for your ideal client. Now, the next idea that we talked about in the last video was to use the adult learning buying cycle. So imagine when you've bought courses, I know I'm totally guilty of this, in the past, or products or workbooks or CD sets, whatever. You buy it and you're so excited and you buy it with the purest heart and the best intentions, and then an hour later, a day later, 3 days later, a week later, a month later, life happens. And it's true. It doesn't matter how fabulous the material is. Life is going to happen and it's going to derail you. It always happens. So you can really use that as a coach because you know that life is always going to happen. It's not necessarily about your products or the quality of your work. It's about life happening to your customers. So keep that in mind when you're designing and think about creative ways that you can help your customers deal with life happening. It might be something simple like providing an audio version of a meditation, or it might be something simple like a check-in call at a certain point. So be creative and just think, okay, my ideal client is going to buy, she's going to be really excited, and then life's going to happen. What could I do? What could I put in this workbook or this program to help her stay on track? Okay, so that's tip number 2. Now the third tip is just don't wait until it's perfect, okay? Because perfect just doesn't exist anyway. The most important thing that you can do for yourself and for your coaching business and for all of those clients out there that are dying to work with you is to just get started. Get a product out there. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. Just get something out there, because I guarantee you, the second that you put something out there, you are going to learn so much from that whole experience, and it's going to be an invaluable training for you. So just get started, get something out there, and discover those possibilities and opportunities that are waiting for you once you're on that other side of having launched your first product. Something else we covered in the first video is why it's so essential for coaches to have coaching products in their business in the first place. And I presented 3 ideas about why I think that's so important. Now, the first one is really straightforward. You have tangible stuff to sell in your business, like this, like a workbook, right? Clients love it. They're really impressed, and you're often impressed by yourself too. If you have a really self-contained package or offering that's ready to go, already well thought through, it makes selling it a whole lot easier than if you're just selling something that you're making up on the spot. Clients sense it, and you'll sense it too in your own confidence levels. So that's the first idea about why having coaching products in your business is so important. Now, the second idea that I covered is that once you have something like a workbook or a well-defined coaching program that's all mapped out, and you kind of have it doesn't have to be completely finished, but you know the subject matter, who it's for, what problem it solves, then you're open to a whole lot more flexibility in your coaching business and opportunity. I'll give you an example. Just somebody who was on my last group. She designed this lovely workbook for practitioners working with children, and she did the online version as well. So she's going to offer that on her website. But I guess because she had that, she was asked then to come and present the online version for a 2-day workshop. But piece of cake for her. All the slides are already done. It's all ready to go. That online thing can be just instantly transformed into a 2-day workshop with practitioners, and she's got all the material ready. She can give every participant a copy of that workbook and then use the slides in the actual training itself. So really great example of how having this stuff done, you get presented and asked to deliver something slightly different and you're ready to go. You just can hit the ground running. I've got another example where somebody created a great workbook for his business. He coaches hair salon owners, and he offered that workbook as a free incentive as part of a conference that he was speaking at. And so many coaches, salon owners actually hired him after that conference because they were so blown away with his talk and then the free workbook that they got that really transformed how they thought about their hair salon business. So just having these products done, having it well thought out and mapped out in your mind, it really helps open you up to new opportunities and possibilities that may not exist for you right now in your coaching business. So the third one we looked at is that I guarantee you that this is one of my latest workbooks. I've written lots, but this is 168 pages. I thought this was going to be like my whole program. It's actually just the pre-learning part of it. But I guarantee you, after you write 168 pages on one little section of your signature coaching program, you're so much more of an expert than you could ever imagine. It really takes you to that next level. And if you're ready for that and you're ready to push yourself out of your comfort zone and actually embrace your own expertise and become that go-to coach, then developing coaching products is an awesome way to do it, and it will happen. I guarantee it. So if you missed it in the first video, let me do a really quick recap of how come I know so much about developing products. Now, I've got a degree in communication design and a diploma in life coaching and NLP. I've got a 10-year experience in multi-million-dollar IT development projects where I specialized in usability and making things useful to the end customer. And on top of that, I launched my first information product back in 2009. I'm still selling that sucker every week, which is just awesome. And I've helped thousands of coaches all over the world with their own coaching products so far. How's that for short and sweet? Let's get into some of the details about how to create your coaching program. Now, the first one I want to look at, because I always get asked this question, is do I need a niche or not? And the answer is yeah, you do. You don't have to call it a niche. I actually prefer to call it your coaching sweet spot, but you need one. The simple truth of it is if you try to help everyone with every problem, you're going to be a mediocre coach. And I'm guessing that you're watching this video because you want more from that, more from yourself and more from your business than mediocrity. You want to be an expert and you want to be the go-to coach in your space. And you want to really thrive in your coaching business. So yeah, you need to choose a niche. And for me, a niche is basically your ideal client, which you've already been doing some thinking about, and it's solving a substantial problem for that ideal client. Like for me, my ideal client is our coaches, and at the very high level, and the problem that I help them solve with my next gen program is how to create their own coaching products. Simple, right? Very clear, very defined. I can own that space and I can become an expert. So that's what you need to do. You need to have that ideal client and that problem that's big enough to sink your teeth into for years to come. And the amazing thing with choosing a narrow focus, you might think that you're restricting yourself, but I have found that the more time I spend in this space, the deeper I can take the concept, and it's just awesome. Like I see years of development and for where I can take my specific niche, which is quite well defined already, but there's so much depth. Once you become an expert, you just start to take it to whole new levels, and that's what you're aiming for, is depth. You want to be able to take it deep because that's what people are going to pay for. Now, another thing before we leave niches is I think that a niche consists of a couple of things. You've got to be passionate about it, and the reason that's so important is if you don't have a heart connection to your work and you're not completely passionate about it, then you're not going to be able to stay the course. Because let's face it, running a business is hard. It's got its ups and downs because you're always having to get to new levels, and every time it's one of these, it feels hard. So you need to be passionate about it so that you stick with it and you see it through because you know that it's what you're meant to do. So passion is really important. The other side of choosing your niche that I see a lot of coaches making this mistake is they've got this history of, really high-level career and expertise. It might be real estate, it might be IT, it might be the health industry, whatever it is. And they've got this amazing expertise, but they get bored with it and then decide, I just want to become a coach and I just want to help people's lives be better. And they totally disregard this wealth of knowledge that they're sitting on. So if you suspect that might be happening to you, then I really encourage you to see how you can combine your love of coaching with this wealth of expertise. That is going to imagine that you tackle, say you've got an expertise in wellness, right? And another coach comes in to the field and they want to be a wellness coach, but they're starting from ground zero. If you tie in your coaching with your expertise, you're going to come in way up here and you're going to be way above any other new coach. So tying those together is really important when it comes to choosing your niche. I hope that you're feeling really excited about developing coaching products for your coaching business. And now you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get started, Benay. But where's the best place to start? There's nothing worse than starting with a blank page. What do I do first? What can I reuse? All of these questions are going through your mind. So I want to give you a breath of fresh air and a really simple and fun way to actually get started with your coaching products. And this first step is actually not even a product at all, but it sets the foundation for every single product that you'll create from now on in your coaching business, providing you've nailed your coaching scope correctly. So what this is it's an exercise to come up with your signature coaching program. Now, every expert has a signature coaching program. Just think about the big super coaches that you know, like Tony Robbins and Jeff Walker and Denise Duffield Thomas. They all have their special programs that are the ones that made them famous. And it is basically a step-by-step process that helps their ideal client get from where they are now to where they want to be. And it's a repeatable process that they know gets results for their clients. That is what you want to create in your coaching business. And once you have that high-level outline of what those steps are, you can actually create tons of different products all within the scope of that signature coaching program, which is really cool. You could design a freebie that's just a little teaser for that beginning step. Or you could have a workbook that's all the handouts for the whole step. You could have an online course that actually takes somebody through all the steps. But you could have 3 online courses, that does the beginning, the middle, and the end. So this first step, it's not even a product yet, but it's your signature coaching program. It's your foundation so that you know what products you can create, okay? And the way to do this is really fun and it's really creative. You've got your ideal client and you've got that big problem that you're passionate about helping them solve and you've got experience with, okay? That's the starting point. And what you do is you grab different colored Post-it notes and a pen and a big wall, and you just start writing down one word per Post-it note, and that's a topic. It's something that your client must learn along that way to get from where they are to where they want to be. And you just start taping those Post-it notes to the wall. And the most amazing thing starts to happen because you automatically start to see patterns and you start to notice that an order to the way things need to be taught. And that becomes your signature coaching program overview. All of a sudden, you can transfer that from the wall to an outline and you know that step 1, you do these things, and step 2, you do these things, and step 3, you do these things, and step 4, you do these things, and step 5, you do these things. And all of a sudden, you have an end-to-end program at a very high level, and you can cut that into all sorts of products. So once you pass that milestone in your coaching business and you have an ideal client, you have your signature coaching program mapped out, and you're ready to start creating products and delivering those in the world, You are in a brand new space with lots more opportunities and a whole lot more expertise under your belt. And I'd love for you to join me in that space because it's an awesome place to be as a coach. You have confidence, you have expertise, you have flexibility and more opportunity than you have now. And you also have tangible products that you can easily sell in your coaching business. Selling becomes a lot more easy because it's very well defined. Now you might be wondering, Benay, is it really the right time for me to create coaching products in my coaching business? And a good way to check in and to see if it is for you is if you find yourself in coaching meetings, repeating yourself over and over and teaching the same sort of things over and over, then I'd say, yes, you're ready. Because what you can do, that's an opportunity. That's a signal for an opportunity. Those things that you're like, oh man, I just taught this yesterday to somebody. Those things that you're repeating over and over, that needs to be turned into a product. Because now you can package that up and you can pass that on to your clients to do in a separate time so that your expertise can then step up to the next level and you're not teaching that same stuff over and over. So that's product opportunity right there. And you might also be thinking, oh, I don't know if I really have the time or the money to invest in something like this right now because, life's happening. I feel you. Life happens all the time. And that's the point, is life does always happen all the time. So if this is important to you, and if stepping up in your coaching business to that next level is important to you, then you seriously need to think about getting coaching products in your coaching business. There's no time like the present, like now. So I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. It was a pleasure for me to create for you. I know there's still a lot of other questions that need to be addressed that you guys have, and I'm so excited about all of them, but I've had to focus on one topic for the last and final video, and I think that I'm going to focus that one on marketing. We're going to look at the simple sales funnel and selling without selling and some automation stuff. So I want to give you some tips on that so that you can get some things rolling in that space, because it's a godsend when you have that up and working for your coaching business. So if you have any other questions or comments about this video, please do leave them in the comments section below. I am going to follow all those and I'll respond accordingly. All right. Have a great day and happy coaching.